The world's largest hedge fund founder is speaking out on the wealth gap and passing on his famed principles to kids now. And Yahoo Finance's Julie LaRoche has the details. Julie, I know you spoke recently with Dalio.
That's right. Well, you all were just referencing the book Principles, that 600-page massive bestseller, translated in 34 languages, more than 2.2 million copies sold.
Yeah.
And now he's come out with an edition that's basically for kids or readers of all ages. It's a nice picture version of the book Principles. And basically, you were just referencing the wealth gap, inequality. This is something that Dalio in recent years has really spoken out against, a lot of this polarization that we've seen in the divisiveness. And he's basically, passing on his principles. He says he'll go quiet in about a year or two. As he gets to this later stage in his life, he is 70 years old. He's the most successful, most profitable hedge fund manager of all time, and he credits his success to principles. What are principles? They're basically tools, values, things that he wants to pass along to the next generation.
I mean, those are big ideas. Wealth inequality, those weren't in my kiddie books, I'll tell you that much, when I was growing up, but I guess we're dealing with new issues now.
Look, we're dealing with a lot of new issues. If you just look globally at what's going on, look at Hong Kong, look at Chile, look at the UK, even here in the US, there's a lot of polarization, there's a lot of fighting and a lot of divisiveness. And a couple of the points he makes in the book, he talks about, this idea of learning from your failures, that kids these days, or even when he was coming along, were taught that failure's bad. But he says, look, failure's not bad. You learn from your mistakes, you get up and you progress and you move forward. So he wants to emphasize that's really important. Also, knowing what is true. What does that mean? Well, it means recognizing what reality really is, because sometimes there's this confusion around truth and it's what you want it to be versus what it actually is, recognizing that. And some important points when you're talking about divisiveness, some of the things that we're seeing in the world, it's about thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
That's really important. But also, engaging, I guess, in what would be radically open-minded, meaning learning from others. Have this thoughtful disagreement with people that you don't agree with. Recognize strengths, recognize weaknesses, have these conversations. I know these are big ideas.
No, but they're important.
To hit the kids, but
they're
they
important
actually
to hit
are
the kids with. Well,
really important, because he says the world they're going to inherit will most likely be worse than what we're experiencing today. He gave this probability that it will probably get worse.
Yeah.
I think it was a 65 to 35% probability that it will get worse before things get better.
Yeah, well, Ian, I mean, you're the only person on the panel with kids. Does this seem like something that might be able to outduke Dr. Seuss?
No, a few things. Number one is I'm reading a lot of dinosaurs now, and it makes me remember that we're don't exist, and dinosaurs had the Earth for 170 million years. I'm going down a dinosaur rabbit hole. And yeah, I don't think my kid's gonna really want this book, but I'm accepted the fact that I think the world is gonna do this until it resets and kills us.
I know, but it's kind of sad though. We're millennials. I'm not a parent yet, but I mean, this is something I'm thinking of in the next 5 or 10 years. I don't know exactly what my timeline is, but these are real issues we're all dealing with. I can't imagine,
Gotta start
being
the
a young
solutions early.
person today.
Yeah, hold on to the book though for when those kids come around though. Perhaps this will be one of the ones that you read them. We'll see.
And by the way, he's giving it away for free for teachers and librarians.
There you go. There's a billionaire stepping up around here. All right, Julie LaRoche breaking it down. Principles for Success from Ray Dalio. Now out. Look at that. Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.